Us now. So good morning to you. Thanks for waking up bright and early with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, for those of us who may be feeling some stress and anxiety over the coronavirus pandemic, what can we do?
So we really want to get the information that's accurate. You know, education is often key at reducing our anxiety, but we want to try to limit the frequency, how often we're turning on the news, and we also want to make sure we're getting our news from reliable sources such as PHL 17 or CDC or the World Health Organization. So we want to limit our sources and we want to limit our frequency, how often we're turning the news on. If we feel like we are having trouble limiting that, ask for help. You know, ask a friend or a loved one to say, hey, can you just tell me, give me an update, a news brief of what's actually relevant to me. We really also want to focus on, in order to help keep our anxiety down, focus on the news that's relevant to us. You know, global information is not necessarily the same as what's going on locally in our community. If you feel that you need more help from just friends and family, there are lots of telehealth services right now. There's JFCS of Southern New Jersey is doing telehealth with all of our clinicians, so don't be afraid to reach out to a local agency. There's also ways to stay connected. You know, we really have to stay connected, even though we're doing physical distancing. We're really focused on staying connected with social engagement still.
So
social engagement, yeah.
Lisa, certainly so many sources out there, and you mentioned kind of limiting that, but it can get very overwhelming, especially when people are concerned and want to make sure that they are staying as safe as they possibly can. A group that's very important, obviously, that we all really keep a close eye on is our children. So what can we do to help them when they are feeling stressed about what's going on?
Great question. So we want to talk with them. You know, they hear things, they see things. We want to talk with them and answer their questions. And when you do answer their questions, stick to only answering their questions and not providing them with more information than they need. Keep it age appropriate when you speak with them, reassure them, validate their feelings. You know, they are experiencing a sense of loss as well. So model that, model how you want your feelings to be heard. Practice your self-care. Go exercise with them. Take a walk with them. Get enough sleep. Keep a routine. Really, one of the things that can help our children through this as best as possible is to, during the week especially, keep that routine. Give them their school schedule. Print it out. Put it out in your kitchen, and limit their exposure to the news and media as well.
And we have a list of tips. We're going to put that up on the screen right now. I know you mentioned two of them, but if we can go ahead and pull that up there. The first one is to be mindful of your news. Second, stay connected, as you've already mentioned. Practice self-care, stay busy, find distraction, and help others. If you could talk a little bit about what does self-care look like to you?
Sure. So self-care can mean just taking a walk, doing some yoga. There are great online exercise classes right now from all over the world of free classes. Guided meditation on YouTube. Getting enough sleep is actually really important, and also eating. You know, the clip you guys just show about not carb loading is really important, is maintaining your healthy eating habits. Or if you haven't been doing healthy eating in the past, now's a great chance. You can cook more, you're home more, maybe stockpile some freezer meals if you can.
Lisa, love the idea of what you're saying. You almost want to stay as close as you possibly can to that normal routine to keep things going. So also, real quickly before we let you go, tell us where people can go to get more information, some of these tips that you mentioned, because they're all very important things that we need to keep in mind during this crisis.
Sure. So some of the resources that are great, I mean, Jewish Federation of Southern New Jersey, JFCS, Jewish Family Children's Services, has a whole page dedicated to resources for the coronavirus, with where to get food if you're worried about food supplies. We also are doing a shop and drop for people that are unable to leave their house, that are higher risk. So volunteers are shopping for our community members and dropping it right at the doorstep with no physical interaction. The Child Mind Institute is a great place for resources for parents. One of the things we're struggling with, I'm sure, is balancing work and children at home. And siblings fighting. Right, so Child Mind Institute has some great tips for how to manage your anxiety and cope with siblings fighting. And then also there's the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, has online support groups and other, we talked already about CDC and the World Health Organization.
All right.
So many important